Right. Time to jump in the well.
Break a leg? Any luck?
Yep. Look what I got.
That would never fit you. Give it to me. How do I look?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Let's go see the big bad wolf.
Let me guess. You'll play the granddaughter.
Mm-hmm. And you, the hunter.
You again? I thought I was clear. I will not talk to you if little Red Riding Hood is not with you!
Not a problem. Sienna can take her place.
What? Very well. It's not as if I can forbid you. Granddaughter, come closer, sweetie.
But Grandmama, what big eyes you have!
The better to see you with, my dear.
Granny, what big arms you have!
The better to embrace you with, my dear.
And Grandmama, what big teeth you have! Eh?
The better to eat you with, my dear.
I shall butcher you!
What? Lost your nerve?
Grandmaster! Remember what Joss said about the red bean? A human has it, and he definitely didn't swallow it.
Mm-hmm. Gotta open his belly. Bottle caps, fake teeth, a corkscrew. Ah, here it is. Red bean.
Well then, one step closer to our goal.
What?
I find myself wondering if you're just horribly discreet, or if those mutations completely scrubbed away your curiosity. Are you really not interested in what happened? In what became of me after they cast me out?
Well, since you brought it up, I'd gladly hear the rest. Let's see. They had escorted you out of the duchy.
Yes, and the noble knights of Toussaint, I didn't stop until we reached the Ketdu wilderness. They left me there alone, without a copper, in a torn lace dress, right when the frosts were setting in. They assumed something would eat me, or that I'd do everyone a favor and die of hunger. But as always, I failed to live up to expectations. I wandered the woods for a week, went purple from the cold, gnawed the bark from twigs. Finally, I saw a light among the trees. A campsite. They were bandits, bearded, drunk, spattered with blood. I was sure they'd rape me or kill me, or both.
Take it neither happened?
That's when I learned a robber and a murderer can be a better man than a knight in shining armor. They took me in, we set off for Nazaire, and I did what I could to repay them. I advanced in their ranks rather quickly. Eventually, I became their leader. Of the whole ragged band.
Been through a lot.
I have. And throughout this time, my sister was stomping grapes and shagging minstrels on down bedding.
She wasn't the one to banish you.
And I'm not angry at her for that. I'm angry at her because she forgot about me. Right. We've had our chat. Come.
Four animals stacked atop each other. What was the tale called again?
The musicians of Blaviken. Huh. You've some link to the town as well, don't you?
But my tale's not much like this one.
Geralt, you call me cruel.
Knight's strange. Doesn't look like he's out of any fairy tale I know. Wonder how he got here.
In past times, Henriette and I would occasionally run into them here. You see, knights errant far outnumber princesses in the real world. So some knights would sneak into the playroom, then into this land, in search of their fairy tale damsels. That's all.
Only to be shredded to bits by a swarm of pixies. Irony's delicious. This Longlock's tower?
Indeed. It's even taller than I remembered.
Wait. What Joss said about the third beam, remember?
In the possession of a whole farmland somewhere deep beneath the ground. Yes, this must be it. Let's go. I'd always grapple up her braids in the past, but I don't see it anywhere.
We'll find another way up. Could pull myself up here, and I'll have to make that jump.
If you say so, I shall wait down here if it's all the same. Climbing's not my strong suit.
Prince's corpse. Tried to free Longlocks, but fell and broke his neck. To climb all that way for nothing.
So?
Got the bean, but long logs. Seems she got sick of waiting for a knight in shining armor.
Can you blame her? Men these days, dandies and fops all.
That why you cozied up to a vampire?
Detlef was a tool, and only a tool.
Too bad he didn't know that.
I trust no one. Learned that long ago. Now it's his turn.
Got a history with Detlef now, so this meeting will be different. Not afraid?
I can handle him.
Mm-hmm. Sure about that?
You look at him as a witcher and see a monster. I know what he's really like. You needn't worry. It's time to go. Just a bit more work and we'll be able to say sod off to this fecking fable sphere. Now we must plant them by the path near Longlock's tower. Then prepare to meet the giant. Right, this is the spot. Wait!
Why?
The stalk will sprout abruptly. Very abruptly. We must be careful. All right, toss them!
Something's always gotta go wrong.
The home stretch.
Incredible.
Admire the view later. First, we must deal with... him.
Fairytale creature, that was one tough son of a wench.
I told you this land had gone ape mad, though I did not expect it to be so severe.
Can't help thinking you might have done that on purpose.
Why ever would I have?
To get rid of your guard, your captor. Getting close to the exit at this point. Probably think you don't need me anymore.
Well, you're wrong. You still stand to be quite useful to me.
That so? How? Plan to use me like you did Detloff?
No, I need you for a purpose far simpler. Now don't just stand there and stare. I need a man, Geralt, and I'm not afraid to say it. I have no idea what awaits me once we leave this place. Treat it as my last wish.
Just gonna go our separate ways? No parting words?
Did you wish to tell me something?
Actually, that'd probably be best.
Oh my. No woman's ever treated you this way.
Not that I recall, no.
In that case, at last you felt what so many women in this world feel at times.
I just hope this tale has a happy ending. For me, for you, for everyone.
That may very well depend on you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing beyond what you heard. For now. Come. The exit's this way.
Will-o'-the-wisp. I think it's got something to show us.
Careful. It's not to be trusted.
Just curious. Why do you want the Heart of Toussaint and the ducal wine?
They were my right. My due.
Doubt we would have figured you out if you hadn't tried to get them. Know that, don't you?
I do, and I regret nothing. One lives but once. Here, we need but jump into the well. You first.
Portals in a fountain? Not terribly practical.
It was a secret passage. Henriette and I would use it to...
Hide from your governess, which luckily she noted down in her diary, thus I knew where to await you. Never mind that. Has the young lady agreed to help clean up the mess she's made?
She has. And stop treating me as if I were a child.
Would you prefer I treated you like the lying manipulator you are?
Calm down, both of you.
But...
No buts. Let's go. Really want to be done with this. Nice place.
Isn't it? Offers a lovely view of the valley. On a clear day, you can see the outlines of Duntine.
Is it, though? A ruin like any other, I think.
So sensitive. So aware. Honestly, what did Dettlaff ever see in you?
Perhaps he'll tell you himself.
Let's get ready. Dettlaff will be here any moment now. Sienna, I have a question I must ask you.
Did you truly feign it all? That which bound us was a ruse?
Detlef. It's not that simple.
Oh no, it's very simple. You either deceived me or not. In forgiving you, I grieve. For now, we must part.
What? But how?
The ribbon.
Ha! Seems I've been fooled again. She will pay for this, sooner or later. She will pay! You never should have meddled with her! I want justice! You treat both of you!
Didn't plan any of it.
Silence!
Nice place.
Isn't it?
Is it? Perhaps.
Let's get ready. The ribbon.
I was just a lass. You tricked me. Both of you.
Didn't plan any of it.
Silence.
Oh, come on!
Acknowledge any gods. Start praying now.
Nice.
Isn't.
Is it, though? Perhaps he'll.
Let's get ready. The ribbon.
of you!
Didn't plan any of it.
Silence!
Yeah.
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist. My, what a smashing ensemble. You wear it well.
Shut up. I look like a twit.
The caftan is sewn of the best fabrics available, and according to the best tailoring practices. But one must have a modicum of taste to appreciate this. Even the most exquisite robes cover only deficiencies in beauty, never in refinement.
Rather not bicker about taste. Don't like to. It's neither interesting nor productive.
This particular Witcher has an inborn intolerance for formal occasions. Yet he's to attend just such an event shortly. I expect that's the source of his prickliness. So try not to take things personally, Master Taylor. Rather pity him. For in truth, stage fright overwhelms him. He trembles at the thought that he has no notion how to behave in the presence of Her Grace's Majesty.
As well he should. All that being as it may, Toussaint's highest honor, the Order of Vitis Vinifera, demands appropriate attire. The Duchess cannot be expected to drape the medal on a suit of armor caked in mud. Palace protocol places enormous emphasis on form, virtuous tradition, etiquette.
Huh. A tradition which values appearances ahead of all else. Which calls for lordly, glistening triviality and misplaced generosity.
Ceremonies, medals honoring virtues, just keeps coming up.
I've had no reprieve either. And I keep thinking of the last great virtue, compassion. It's the one piece of the puzzle that never seemed to fit.
Mean you suddenly believe the 5 virtues theory, after all we've revealed?
It's not a question of belief, superstition, or old wives' tales. It's a conclusion derived through exercising pure logic. Syanna planned everything in advance. Had we not stopped her, surely there'd have been a 5th victim. One the gossips would have associated with a lack of compassion.
Her plans don't matter now. Can't act on them. Ask the messenger who delivered my invitation to the ceremony. Syanna's in the palace. Courtiers pressured the Duchess to lock her in a tower.
Do you care not a whit who else was in her black book? We've some time before the ceremony. We could still chat with that boot-cleaning urchin. He was the one to pass the victims' names to Dettlaff. Perhaps we missed something.
Regis, Bootblack didn't say anything about making deliveries when we talked to him. How do you know he handled the letters?
While you basked in glory and tried on new formal wear, I conducted a little investigation of my own. You'd be very proud to see how I conducted myself. I began by concocting an ample supply of boot wash for our enterprising young friend. I'd observed that among street folk, amidst their society as a whole, reciprocity takes precedence over all other codes, and thus no good deed goes unrewarded. Of course, the same holds true for malicious or destructive deeds.
The letters, what's the connection?
When the boot black arrived to collect his bucketful, he hinted he knew more. Simply put, we'd failed to ask the proper questions when we chatted earlier. It took a bit more tongue-loosening, but ultimately he spoke. He admitted he'd handed Dettlaff the letters. He knew this information was valuable to me. In providing it, he was simply repaying me.
All in all, why not check up on that? We'll go together, assuming we're done here.
I am done, yes. It lies in your hands now to see if you are able to present my handiwork at the ceremony with the dignity it is due. Or if you will first destroy it, crawling about the city's underbelly.
Promise to be careful.
Oh, it's the swordsman. Good to see you. Here for a spiffing? Dirty boots are a stain on professional dignity, you know. Step on up.
Need to ask you something.
Yet again? Go on then. I'm a proponent of free speech and I will gladly tell you all I know. But why not get your boots shanked while we jabber?
Guess they could use a spit and polish.
Then I shall take advantage as well. A friend of mine used to say boots should be as clean as the soles that wear them.
Clean boots, clean soles. A fine slogan.
Man in the frock coat. You passed him some letters, remember?
Why, of course. I'm young, got a mind like a steel trap, but...
If you're about to tell me this information will cost me, forget it. How'd you get those letters?
Beggars brought them.
Beggars. Tell us more about them. How many were there?
Why, 4. 1 for each letter.
Just 4? Sure you didn't get a 5th?
I can't count, you know.
Remember anything else? These beggars have anything in common?
What? Come now. Each was different. Some had mismatched boots, others had no boots at all. Oh, I know! They all had no home!
Kid, my patience is starting to run a little thin. Now think hard. Remember what they looked like?
Of course. I've a mind like a steel trap, as I said. They were ragged, unshaved. Their clothes were tattered. As to their boots, well, I mentioned that already.
Geralt, allow me to ask a question. Listen, lad. I'll be glad to mix another batch of that boot shine for you. But you must focus now and tell us all you know. Where can we find the beggars?
Well, at the shelter, most like.
Where's that?
Everyone knows. It's just round the corner. Up those stairs, then right.
Thanks, kid. For your trouble. We must visit the shelter. Look around inside.
You've to move your little camp elsewhere, got it? This is a decent... You? What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now.
Gentlemen, calm, please.
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a rank refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves.
Why? Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
We should step aside, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
You are one doubtless.
Mistake.
She isn't get hurt. All right. I can take a hint. Come, time to go.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere were we to have somewhere to go. But you've come with a problem, have you? My turn to aid you.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the bootblack in Rue de Garl.
The bootblack? A feisty lad. I know him.
Any of your, wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold, and we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the bootblack. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romain?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romain. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the bootblack. Freshy, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
It's a matter of importance to the Duchy. Hand it over, or I'll take it from you, plain and simple.
But I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was frightening.
You ought to heed folk who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right, take it. I didn't want to see the bootblack anyways. It's always muddy there.
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well, well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duchessa. It seems we underestimated Sienna rather grossly.
Judging by this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Duchess was to be Detlof's last victim. Sienna planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to Sienna, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons. Most would have thought Anna Henrietta had died for her sins. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions. Ample proof of a lack of compassion.
Why would Sienna murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, yes, and yes. All seem likely, and none are mutually exclusive. But if you'd like to know for certain, you could always ask her yourself.
Think it's a good idea? After all, we foiled her carefully planned scheme. Think she'll even want to?
Talk to you? Would it harm you in any way to try? Some philosophers think empirical examination the sole path to knowledge. I believe you mentioned the Duchess keeps Sienna locked up.
Courtiers were insisting on a harsher punishment. Much harsher. Think Anna Henrietta had to protect her sister from a lynch mob as much as she wanted to protect her subjects from a criminal. One way or another, she's locked away in a secluded wing of the palace, awaiting trial before a court of law. I'd need to get past some guards to see her. Coming with?
Of course not. I shall await you at Mare la Chaise-Longue. I'll not risk entering the palace after Detlef and his minions rampage. Besides, I vastly prefer the company of a simple mug of mandrake brew to that of the Duchess's vile sister.
So, said straight up, it means you're going off to get drunk because you hate Sienna.
I've never been fond of categorical statements of that kind, but I admit I could not vouch for my behavior in her presence. She treated Detlef cruelly, caused his death in the end, and now this? Atop all that, no, Geralt. I will not go with you. I will await you at the cemetery.
Enough said.
That Witcher's rather handsome.
Long live Duchessa Anna Henrietta.
Time is no cock. Keep school.
Out of my way.
Halt!
Need to see Siana, urgently.
In the matter of?
Want to talk to her. It's important.
Want to talk? Go see your gran at tea time. Not one locked up on the Duchess's orders. No doing without special permission. Period.
Found some information important to her case. Need an explanation, urgently.
Ah, fine then. You're that witcher who solved the murders, no? Then you've my permission, but only for a few minutes.
Promise to be brief.
The witcher will speak with the inmate. You can take a momentary break.
As long as it's truly but a moment. Highly irregular, this.
Have you come to see how I fare? I'm fine, thank you. Artorius' ribbon worked wonders. It's a shame they took it from me.
I know who the fifth victim was supposed to be.
Goodness, you're simply a compulsive snoop. I'm in prison. Deadloff is dead. Could you not just drop it?
Siana, stop pretending you couldn't care less. I know it's an act, and it's really starting to wear. Why'd you want to kill her?
For such an accomplished investigator to ask about the obvious? Come now, Geralt. Why do you think?
You envy her. Her power, her beauty, the love of her people.
I see I misjudged you. You understand nothing. Well, what now? Off to share your discovery with Anna Henrietta? No, she's no longer in danger, true. But she very well might add a little something to your reward.
Definitely gonna tell her. Not necessarily for the coin, though.
Then why do it at all?
She ought to know. If only 'cause you'll probably try to kill her again if she ever lets you out.
I probably will.
At least you're being honest, finally.
Lying only ever makes sense when there's a chance someone will believe you. It's actually refreshing, in a way, to say what I truly think. So why don't I do it a bit more? I was only ever nice to you to get you to sleep with me. I thought you might come in handy one day. Your comrade Regis is using you, and Anna Henrietta perceives you solely as her unthinking, blunt instrument. She's right to, you know.
I like this game. Long as we're being honest, here I go. You're a pathetic, self-centered snake. Should I go on? You'll rot in this tower. You'll die of old age, embittered, alone and forgotten. By everyone. Have a nice life, Siana.
Commander de la Tour would like to see you. Shall we go at once?
Let's go. Want to see him too. Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
All right, we can start.
Very well. But you must behave. Less like a hired thug, and more like a man deserving of the Duchy's highest honor. In fact, you'd do best to maintain a dignified silence throughout. Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. The Duchess awaits. In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse, the whole place went up in flames.
I shall dispatch a palace guardsman to examine the site of the blaze. If things are, as you say, fitting compensation shall be paid from the ducal treasury.
Thank you, your enlightened highness. Your Grace, Geralt of Rivia has arrived.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders, as the ruler of this dominion, this duty is dearest to my heart. For now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Tucson's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, Slayer of the Beast of Beauclair, step forth.
We bestow the distinction upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May this symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition. I give you more than a dozen barrels of Sonreal, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
Feels like a second distinction. I'm honored. Thank you.
I trust you shall make good use of it. In a moment I shall speak to Siana. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet you also showed me her horrendous deeds. As head of state, I must judge her fairly. But she is my sister. Thus my heart bleeds for her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
I'm not a prisoner, free to do as I choose.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister. and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
No matter the mitigating circumstances, whatever they may be, Siana is a criminal and should be tried as such. And punished as such. Her guilt is clear.
Your words sadden me greatly, Witcher. But I cannot deny their logic. Siana, you shall be tried and given a fitting punishment. Yet we shall never cease to be family. As Duchess, I shall have to judge you. But as your sister, I shall never stop loving you. Will you forgive me?
I shall never forgive you.
Need some flowers. A wreath, or...
I've none. Sold everything. I was just on my way out. No sense hanging about with nothing to do. Should come as no shock, sir. Had the funeral. Folk took it all. Men, women, children. All wished to lay a bouquet on the Duchess's grave. Windflowers, peonies, gladioli. But she liked common roses best. I know. Her ladies-in-waiting would come here at times. I'd choose the loveliest blooms for her. Fragrant, big petals, the kind that last a long time. I've still not come to terms with it. To be killed by her own sister. How could it happen?
No one suspected Siana'd be merciless. Not Damien, not me. Least of all the Duchess.
I know you. You're that Witcher from the north. The one that saved us from the beast.
Mm-hmm. Could say that.
Wait here. Take these.
Thought you were out of flowers.
I put a bouquet aside. I was to take it to her myself. But you have it. I know you held the Duchess dear.
How much do I owe you?
Not a copper. Keep your coin and raise a toast in her memory tonight.
Do just that. Farewell.
with a murderous lass in one crypt with the Duchess. It's not decent.
Matter or no, she was the Duchess's sister.
Witcher, I was certain you'd departed.
Couldn't. Anna Henrietta was...
Wondrous. Beautiful. Good. The best ruler one could hope to have. Yet I let her down.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one expected Sienna to do that, persist to the end. And none of us did anything to stop her. 'Cause there was nothing we could do.
I suppose you are right. But when someone so beloved dies, one cannot help but search one's soul for blame. And even the hardiest knights grow faint-hearted then.
Come to pay my respects. Bid the Duchess farewell.
White roses. They were her favorite. Go inside then. She lies in the ducal crypt, in one room with her murderer, despite my protests.
What? Who decided that?
The Regent's Council. A pack of old men who've statutes and codices for hearts. Ducal blood flowed in Sienna's veins, and she was never legally disinherited. So they ruled she should lie alongside Anna Henrietta.
I regret it ended this way, that I failed to prevent it. Hope you can forgive me. Rest in peace.
Stylish crypt, quite subdued. Yes, this is the kind of eternal resting place I dream of.
Moments like this, I never know if you're joking or serious.
Serious, Geralt, serious. It's remarkably peaceful, subtly charming to the hilt. A perfect match for the Duchess's dignity. Ah, you humans, you'll never cease to amaze me. To feel despair in the face of natural processes to which you are predestined. I've come to take you from this place, my friend. Dare say you deserve a speck of respite after the mad whirl of the last few days.
All those deaths I failed to prevent. Feel pretty awful right about now. Can't help thinking I could have done more. Now Toussaint's left without a ruler, or more accurately, chaos rules here. Hand in hand with despair. Duchess won over people's hearts. All Beauclair now weeps for her.
A mass outburst of emotion. Well, it seems her subjects have adopted some of their recent ruler's traits.
Why the sarcasm? Thought you liked Anna Henrietta.
I did. And I do truly rue her passing.
Me too.
Then let us drink.
Whatever you say about Sienna, You gotta admit, she was unbending.
That she was. I do admit it. Though, in her case, it would have been better if she had been a tad more, philosophical, pausing from time to time to reflect on the propriety of her actions.
True.
How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diabolus variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavor profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
You decide to go root picking now? It's dark out.
Geralt, even were I generously to assume it had simply slipped your mind that I am a vampire and thus need no light to see, I'd never believe you had also forgotten that you likewise have absolutely no trouble seeing in the dark. So, shall we?
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
This moonlight makes me, oh, so dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus twins?
No, I was thinking about... Anything can look interesting when properly lit.
Even an old necrophage corpse?
You've not an ounce of refinement in you, have you?
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He's a vampire, after all. Damn it, where'd you go? Regis!
You raise your hand against the...
I did what I had to do!
Those Bruxay, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or...
Won't let it go, will they?
They will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind. That is why I must leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink. Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you in your new home, on the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
No, just not the life for me. Sure, might stop by there occasionally, stay the winter, fill up on wine. But I'd rather keep moving. It's not a choice being a witcher. And once you are one, you're one for life. You can't just step off the path. Besides, plenty of work left for me in the world. Ghouls aren't gonna kill themselves.
Rather droll, isn't it, that each time we meet, something harrowing must happen? I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do. Actually, I'd love to go home. Run, Roach.
Spittoon! Hospital! Evalus!
Scrawny, grey-haired, ill-fated.
Now I shall sing you a song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ah!
Oh! Oh, there. What will he walk?
Welcome to Beauclair, City of Love.
My foo-foo out! One of these.
Cheap shenanigans. I can't see a thing through these.
Master Witcher, some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
Unexpected as ever. And beautiful as ever.
Won't you even ask why I've come? Or how I found you?
Wouldn't get a straight answer anyway.
Quite true.
Used to bother me, all your secrets. Now I know if you have something to tell me, you'll tell me. Don't need to ask.
I missed you, Geralt. Madly. Come outside. We can hold hands and stare at the sky, like some shitty two-crown romance.
Brought quite a few books. Let me guess. Working on a new spell?
Not at all. These aren't grimoires, just pleasure reading. The Name of the Orchid. A widower for half a year.
Huh. Always thought you too busy to make time for something as impractical as pleasure reading.
Because I was. But now I'm not. A few weeks ago, I awoke to the realization that I know not what to do next. I have no plan. I have no goal. And you know what? I like that. Finally, I can stop thinking about politics and focus on what's important to me. Which is why I came here.
Liking Toussaint so far?
The landscape's lovely and the towns are charming, no question about that.
But
the southern sun plays havoc with my wardrobe. To be blunt, wear black down here and you're pretty damn hot.
Might need to think about changing your color palette. Off-white and pea green, for instance.
And I'll wear scents distilled from turnips and daisies. I think I shall simply stay in the shade. And you'll bring me cool drinks. At regular intervals.
Bring you whatever you want. You know, feels kinda strange having a home.
I must say I never pictured you owning real estate.
Was something of an accident, but I'm not about to complain. Yen, Back then, before we fought the hunt, said you wanted to run away with me to the world's end. This vineyard, good enough?
Yes. Although, there's one thing missing.
Namely?
I shall give you a hint. It's large, white, has 4 legs, category taxidermy.
Oh yeah, the unicorn. Fine. You can bring it down here.
I knew you'd see things my way.
Ever thought this day would come? Me and you, peace and quiet, bees buzzing, birds chirping.
I almost regret delaying so long before coming to you. I was quite the silly goose.
You have doubts? Though I imagine it might have been hard coming after me. Always were proud as a peacock.
Please, Geralt. I'm not like other sorceresses to feel that following someone means my wings have been clipped.
Ooh, watch what you say about your colleagues. Remember, it's an ill bird that fouls its own nest.
Well said, Witcher. You're not only handsome, but wise, too. I feel a bit like the cat that got the canary.
Yeah, and I'm... Damn it, you win. This time.
Ha!
How'd that start, anyway? Our duels and wordplay.
Forgotten. It was at a vernissage in Banard. You started it to keep from going mad with boredom. I remember finding your sense of humor both groan-worthy and somehow endearing. Never change, Geralt. I beg you.
So, talk again later?
Of course. I'm not going anywhere.